We spent probably around a month with no strikers as both Rossi and Tossi have been injured. They're kind of on their way back into today, so fingers crossed they come back scoring.
In the heart of northern Italy lies a town steeped in footballing history. Welcome to Vercelli, home to one of the most storied clubs in Italian football, Pro Vercelli. Languishing in the lower leagues as its once glittering legacy faded into obscurity. But now, a new chapter is about to be written. A chapter of redemption, revival, and triumph. Get ready to witness the rebirth of a footballing legend. This is Football Manager 24, the Pro Vercelli Chronicles.
Hello and welcome back to the Pro Vercelli Chronicles. Since you were last with me, we beat Udinese 3-2 with Maldini getting a brace and Topalovic on the score sheet. Before facing Spezia and winning 3-1, Montanaro, Topalovic and Tossi on the score sheet there. We beat Genoa. We lost to Genoa 3-2 with Rodriguez and Maldini on the score sheet. We then faced Fiorentina, and I've been distracted. Anyway, we then faced Fiorentina and drew 3-3 with Tossi, an own goal, and Romaro on the score sheet. Parma, we then faced, and it was a 1-1 with Rossi on the score sheet. There's a big highway maintenance thing parking directly outside our house. Very odd. Sorry, I'm massively distracted. We then faced Lecce, which we won 2-0 with Suuk and Murphy on the score sheet for losing 2-0 to Inter in the Cup. I think Tossi got injured in the 3-3 game, and then Rossi got injured in the Parma game. So this is where we didn't have any strikers. We then won 2-1 against Monza with Topalovic and Suak on the score sheet before beating Lazio 2-1 after going 1-0 down. Hutchinson equalised. Then Rossi, on his return, came back and scored a 93rd minute goal. He was literally on the field for 10 minutes. That's all he could play. Today we face Lazio and Juventus, and to do that we have a slightly different formation. I think we're going to do that because firstly Rozovic has gone back. He was recalled. Sorry, Rodriguez was recalled. So that was a bit of a shame. And as far as outs go, Aldito's gone out on a free, and Ferreira has gone out for 160,000. And in the replacement, we have brought in on loan Bishab El Chad. Why not? He is a centre-back that can play on the left side of centre-back. So, yes, that's what he'll be doing. Just trying to figure out. Okay. Oliveira's injured for 1 to 2 days, but he was also suspended for this game anyway, so in a way it's worked out all right. Tossi's still out. Rossi can play 75 minutes, so we're going to start the first half without him and possibly bring him on for the second. But to start the game, we have Cardoso in goal with Murphy, El Chad, Montenero and Bellerin at the back. Topalov and Mitev in midfield with Maldini, Suak, Hutchinson and Romaro, who all in the attacking positions. So let's get going. And here we go. So you may notice somebody's missing. And before the next game, you'll find out who and why. Why they're not. Well, they're not missing. They're just not in the first team. Hopefully, you'll find out why. Potentially, you might not, though. But we have a bid for a player. And we've potentially got another player coming in, but it does rely on that player leaving. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Today I'm bullet clubbing it up. Been a massive New Japan fan for many years. As an ex-WCW fan, he kind of moved over to New Japan and found ways of watching it. And that is a goal for Luca Montenero, the centre-back, set up by El Chad. El Chad is just quite good, but it's been disallowed for offside. El Chad is also 6'6". I forgot to add that. You can't teach that. 6'6", meaning that he can get to every single corner. My aim is to bring him in permanently in the summer, hopefully, but you never know. While we're discussing things, the board have offered me a new contract, so we've just signed a new 4-year deal, which is key. Obviously, this team we are pushing on, and we are going to try and get things going. But here's Luca. What's Luca going to do with it? Plays it back to Bellerin. Topalovic from range gets in there and scores 1-0 to Pro Vercelli. Here's great goal from a good bit of range. The good thing is, with this formation, the defence don't know what to do, and it gets a lot of space for our midfield and also for the attackers, because if they go to the front four, then the midfield just runs on beyond. If they go to the midfielders, then there's a big gap for the wide men to get onto it and whip it in. It works surprisingly well, and potentially could be something we look at continuing. We are going to make a substitution, but not the substitutions. In fact, we're gonna go here, but I don't think we're going to put anyone up top. I think Rossi's going to come on the left. Valpato is going to come on the right. Kolasnik is coming on at left back. I think we're going to bring Thomas Partey on in central midfield. So we made some changes to the team. We're playing really well, and this formation was made out of necessity, but seems to be doing the job at the moment. Here's El Chad. What can he do with it? Montenero. Plays it forward to Mitev. Mitev to Luka. Luka to Montenero. Tropolovic. Suk. Plays it through. Hutchinson's through. And Hutchinson puts the ball in the back of the net for his 4th goal of the season. And that is why we signed him, knowing full well what he can do, what he could be. We make the change. Both Hutchinson and Suak both playing really well in this shadow striker with no striker role. But the question is, what do we do with this team, with this formation actually making a big difference? We weren't playing particularly well, so we started playing well again when we moved to this formation. So I've got a bit of a decision to make, whether or not we continue this formation or boost up, go back to our normal formation. But the way that we've been playing, tempted to not change it. Because we're playing well like this. Volpato plays it over the top to El Chad, who's not quite able to get ahead on it, but does regain it. But the highlight ends. And with that, it's too late to make any changes. I was going to make a change to time waste, but I didn't do it quick enough. Nice work, good work. I'll see you for any transfer news and the Juventus game in just a second. So nothing actually happened on the deadline day. We didn't make any ins or outs. But for today's game, we're actually going to try and continue what we've been doing because it was working. The player was Dakil. He was very much the player that had an offer for £7.5 million for. He wants to leave but refused to. So I don't know. Sometimes these players confuse me. But anyway, for today's game, we have Cardoso in goal, Murphy, Elchad, Dakil and Oliveira at the back, Topolovic and Mitev in midfield, with Rossi, Tossi, Maldini and Romero in front of them, and nobody up front, because you don't need any strikers. God dear. I think, to be fair, Tossi and Rossi are both better off behind a main striker, as is Maldini. So we've got some really good players in behind a striker, and we've just given away a soft as anything penalty. Come on. No penalty. Now, good start to the game, boys. Giving away a penalty. Thank you very, very much. Ooh, Cardoso nearly got there. Nearly being a key word. He didn't at all. And I found out what all that noise is out the front. Couple of doors down, they're putting up scaffolding. So we're going to try and get a couple of games, episodes done today, in the hope that if they do make a lot of noise one day building, we can we don't have to record. And that is appalling. Unfortunately, that's 2-0. Could it be 3? But then this is Juventus, so we expect to get... Luckily, that's offside. But I think it's now time to change. I think we've got to do that. Otherwise, we just invite, we need an outlet. Clearly, 20 minutes, 2-0 could have been 3-0 down is just not good enough. We're going to skip. We're actually going to drop to balanced in the hope that we can get onto the ball. Although, having said that, we have had a few shots. It's just none have been good enough, noteworthy enough to give us a highlight. So we changed things up and we seem to be a bit better. Thrash arms. That was a terrible first half. Go on. Go out there and do something, boys. We are going to demand more. It looks as though Juventus have shut up shop. And this does keep us in the top 4. Remarkably. As obviously Juventus having a very poor season. Lazio all the way down mid-table as well. I'm not going to make any changes. Just because nothing's happened, I don't want to jinx it. So we've ended up losing that one 2-0. Interesting. They did themselves proud in the second half, I've got to say. But how much of that was Juventus just not bothering? I don't know. Right, so with that all being said, when do we come back? We're going to do those two. So yeah, we'll come back for Cagliari and Roma in the next episode. If you've enjoyed that though, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I've been the Masked Manager, and until next time, I have spoken.